Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. As if Middle Australia wasn't already doing it tough enough. Higher prices, higher taxes and higher mortgages. Well, it's just about to get tougher yet. Much of the pain felt by Middle Australia, these are everyday, hard-working Australians, is a direct consequence of the failed policy experiments of the Albanese Labor government. Over the last 12 months, the country has been changing, and so too has the way of life for everyday Australians, as they come to appreciate the impact of a Labor government. And this transition from a coalition government to a Labor government has reinforced differences between Australia's two great governing parties. For the coalition, we believe in small government. We believe in freedom of the individual. We believe in the importance of family. We believe in empowering local communities. And we believe in small business, free enterprise and entrepreneurship. When these values underpin the government of Australia, Middle Australia wins. People's lives improve, family budgets get easier to manage, and younger generations have more opportunities to get ahead, to buy a home and to make ends meet. But when the Labor Party is in power, as it is now, all this goes out the window, because what the Labor Party believes in is big government. So individuals, the family, the local community, businesses, enterprise, entrepreneurs, all out the window, because all that matters to Labor is big government. And this is especially the case when it comes to the energy system, where Labor not only believes in big government, but also, Mr Speaker, big promises. Despite the coalition reducing power prices under its watch, in fact the last term of government alone, power prices went down by 8% for households, 10% for businesses, 12% for industries. But still, the Labor Party went to the last federal election promising the Australian people they could get these power prices down even further than that. And so they made a promise. And they made that promise no less than 97 times before the election. Now, they were so confident about it, even after the invasion of Ukraine, they kept it going. And if you go to the Australian Labor Party's website today, sure enough, that big promise is still there. The question I know, Deputy Speaker, you're asking yourself is, what was that promise? I'll give you a hint. The promise was about household power bills. Labor promised to reduce household power bills by guess how many dollars? Have a guess. 275. That's right. Labor promised to reduce average household power bills by $275.
How's that going?
Well, how is that going, Member for Page? How is that going? Well, it's failing and failing miserably. And guess who's paying the price? Middle Australia. Middle Australia. The same people who were ignored in the recent federal budget are the ones who will be paying the price. These are everyday Australians who aren't recipients of government payments. In fact, they don't even want government in their life. We're talking about the tradies who get up early every morning to make sure they're on site at time. We're talking about the bakers who are moulding dough before the sun even rises. We are talking about the cafe owners who get to the shop early to set up. This is Middle Australia. People who don't ask for anything from government but for government to get out of their way so they can live their lives. But they won't get that from this Labor government, because this government believes in big government. Since coming to office, the Albanese government has inserted itself at the centre of Australia's energy market. With its unprecedented market interventions, Government now calls the shots. They are the ones picking the technologies because they think they know better than the engineers, than the economists, on how the industry should run. They don't believe in a balance of technologies like the Coalition does. They don't believe in having an all-the-above approach like we do. Rather, they pick their favourites. But they also know the technologies they wish to demonise. And those they wish to demonise, they restrict supply or they seek to turn supply off. Now,
Member for Longman.
We know the result already, Deputy Speaker, from these massive interventions. We know that already we have gas at extraordinary prices throughout this country. We know that prices continue to rise for every single electricity user in this country. And we have our trading partners, some of our most important long-standing trading partners, now for the first time looking at Australia as a sovereign risk, because Labor are demonising the very resources they rely on, and they are the same resources we rely on here for our own energy system. But here is the thing, Deputy Speaker. If you want to be big government and insert yourself, put yourself at the centre of the energy market, you can't have it both ways. You can't then blame someone else when electricity prices go up. If you want to be at the centre, you want to call the shots, then you have to cop it when the prices go up, and the prices are going up. When government empowers itself, especially with a very, very visible, albeit incompetent hand in the market, it is to blame when prices go up. Now, let's check out how they are delivering on that $275 promise, Deputy Speaker. To date, instead of power prices coming down by $275, under this Labor government, for average households, they have risen as high as $500. So think about this. Think about this. You have power prices. Labor says they're going to get them reduced by $275, but it goes up by $500. That means there's a $775 difference between what Labor had promised them they would pay and what they actually have to pay. That is the difference. That is the price of a broken promise. But the thing is, that's only the broken promise as of today, Deputy Speaker.
Member for Swan.
What the real problem now is, for those people of Middle Australia, hard-working Australians, when they woke up this morning, they found out that it's going to get even worse, because the default market offer said on the 1st of July it's going to get even more expensive. For those in the DMO jurisdictions, we are looking at average prices going up by around 25%. For some households, the price increase will be as high as $600 a year. $600 a year. And so if you think of those households that were paying just under $800, there's a difference of $800. I mean, you were talking about what Labor had promised those households and what they'll have to pay, a difference of around $1,400. That is the cost of what Labor is doing here. But, Deputy Speaker, you know, we can talk about numbers all we like. There's a human story here, and it's the human story that worries me most. We have 82,000 families in this country who are already on hardship programs. 82,000. That's only going to get worse. If we think of last winter, we had stories of senior citizens who had to make a decision about whether or not they could turn the heating on and put food on the table. Will any of the Labor members who will speak today guarantee seniors that they will not have to make that tragic choice this winter? You see, Deputy Speaker, behind these numbers lie human stories of Middle Australia that are struggling, and the fact that this government did not have a single measure in their recent federal budget to assist Middle Australia is a disgrace. These higher prices are on them. They have broken a promise, and they are only making it harder for Middle Australia.